am Kaela Crawford.
I'm Selina Ringel.
And this is Two Moms, One Pod.
Yeah.
This is basically a limited series leading up to our show at the VIRGIL on September 28th. There's going to be a 7 p.m. and an 8:30 p.m. show.
Yeah.
For our comedy special taping. It's going to be called Two Moms, One Mic. And I just got chills.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Isn't that weird that like I gave myself chills?
No, I think it's a good
about
sign.
Our show. Yeah, maybe that's like a good. That is a good sign.
What do you call it?
I was going to say good omen, but like.
Oh, I said an omus.
What is an omus?
It's me trying to say omen and not getting the word
right.
But
it is a made-up word, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing if omus is actually like a word?
It's like hummus omen.
Like during in Scrabble, I would just like guess words. And you're like omus.
Omus, hummus.
And then someone Googles it, and you're like, actually, that's the origin. that's a location in I can't even think of Scandinavia. I can't. Where am I thinking?
Anyway, one of the things we want to talk about is why we decided to do a stand-up special.
Yeah.
And we'll talk. So tell me a little bit about where you're coming from. I'll tell you where I'm coming from because we're two different people coming together to do a stand-up special.
Okay, my reasoning for wanting to do a stand-up special and like releasing it ourselves is mainly just because like no one's asking me to do it. You know what I mean? Like no one's like calling me up. Like I don't even know if you get cold calls anymore being like, Kaela, we love your stuff. We want to put it on Amazon. Although I have Laugh After Dark on Amazon, which I'm super proud of and I love it.
Yeah.
But now I have like my mom material and I was like, I want to like release this. Like I love people who do like comedy albums and tapings, and I was like, I should just do it. Yeah. And so I reached out to you and I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that you reached out to me, and I'm going to ask you in a second why you reached out to me. But for me, I think like a big thing in my life is something I say. I actually have these like manifestation shoes, which are like all my, I have shoes that I custom made that are all my manifestation phrases and thoughts.
Oh my God.
And one of them is be the train. And I'm a very big believer in, like, I don't want to wait to jump on the train. Like, I'm just going to be the train, and people can jump on my train. But I'm going to just make my own shit happen.
You're, like, the conductor.
I'm the conductor. And I'm like,
about that.
Yeah. So I love, like, to me, and granted, no one's calling me either. But I feel like that's not. But
that's a side note.
That's a side note. That's not really
I'm on my own train.
That's not my focus.
Choo-choo, mother. I'm not going to curse. I was so close. I was like,
my focus is... no, I really do think it's very empowering to be someone who makes your own stuff, who, I cast myself in my own things. I produce my own things. I write my own things. Like, I think that it's so hard to depend on someone else to give you what you want. So I give myself what I want. And then I still put myself out there, and, hopefully some bigger things come from whatever. But I'm just a big believer in, like, you got to just start.
Do it.
And you just got to go.
Right.
And then people will either love it or they won't.
Right. And then, so for this episode, we're going to talk about how we landed on the VIRGIL.
Yeah.
And how we got rejected by other theaters and comedy clubs. First of all, can we talk about, like, how you got an intern?
Yeah, but I always have an intern. You didn't know that?
That is just hilarious. First of all, you didn't even need to let me know that, but you were like, but I always have an intern.
But I do.
Doesn't everyone always have an intern?
Well, I get, because we have a production company, and so we always get someone who's in college, who's doing film, to intern for us. Yeah. It's a good deal, 2 ways.
Yeah, like when you said, you're like, well, I have a production company. I was like, me too. But myself and I, that's what it's called. That's actually a good title for a production company.
It is.
But yeah, so you have your production company, and then you got an intern, and then the intern basically sent out like cold emails. Yeah. To like every single club, being like, there's these 2 up-and-coming comedians. Yeah. And then he did sort of like name drop our name sometimes, and I was like, oh my God, this is a little embarrassing. Like, I get so embarrassed by things.
That's so funny to me.
And then we had a phone call with one theater, and I think it was going so well.
Yeah, I thought they loved us.
And I sometimes, like, I'm like so cool and comfortable, and then I always end up saying just like one awkward, uncomfortable thing that just like blows the whole shit up. Like where it just like demolishes. No, it wasn't that bad. We were on a Zoom. It was 4 people. It was like 3 normal people and then me. And then like everything.
Was I one of the normal people?
Yeah, you were one of the normal people. Yeah, it was like
That's a surprise.
Like it was like a jazz dance. Like we were all on the same train, and then all of a sudden
we were like this.
I started like slow dancing. Okay, because what happened was we said, they were like, we're so excited. We're going to be sending you a quote. And then here's what happened, actually. Selina, you complimented me. You were like, oh, yeah, you know, and Kaela's actually a big deal. She's toured, like, she's opened for Paul Rodriguez before. And whenever someone compliments me, like, I reject it. I was like, oh, yeah, you think I'm great? I'm going to tell you that I suck. I just, like, rejected it. And then...
But what you actually said was, I'm poor.
Yeah, exactly. No, right. But then what happened is you said, Kaela opens for Paul Rodriguez sometimes.
And then you were like, but I'm poor.
And then I got so scared when you said that it opened for Paul Rodriguez that I was like, oh, no, they're going to send us a really high quote. They're going to be like, our theta is $60,000 a night. So then I said I was poor. I was like, just so you know, yes, I've done some cool things, but also I'm poor.
Yeah.
And I feel like that shattered it for us. Like,
I mean, I don't know if that shattered. They definitely did reject us after, but I don't think it was because of that.
Well, it's
I
funny
think it might have been because they're not like taking independent stuff anymore. There's a million reasons why things don't work.
You're so sweet. Like, it's so funny when you get rejected. You're like, no, I think it's a good learning lesson. When I get rejected, I'm like, I'd like to disintegrate now.
Well, I feel like maybe you don't get rejected as often as I do, because I get rejected so often that I literally feel nothing. I feel nothing. Yeah. I just have like a wall. I'm like, oh no, okay, moving on. Oh no, oh you hate me? Okay, yeah. Moving on. Oh, you don't like my laugh? All right, whatever, moving on. Like, because if I disintegrated, I would be disintegrated all day, every day, and it would be impossible to live life. So this is like my coping mechanism is to just let everything slide off of me.
Yeah, so we basically got an email just being like, we're not even gonna bother sending you a quote.
Yeah, they didn't even give us the quote. They were like, actually, no,
you're not for us.
We were like, why?
And that was like our first rejection, like a literal like rejection email. And then other people just like didn't respond. And then
But we had one rejection that I thought was funny. I'm not gonna name the club.
Okay.
But we had one rejection that I thought was really funny, where they basically sent a message back to my intern being like, we have not heard of these two up-and-coming stand-ups. We do not let these people rent our club. This is more like for some serious fucking comedians. Yeah. I thought that was
They were
really
like,
funny.
We don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Anyway, we're going to wrap this up, this episode. So see you guys on September 28th. At the Virgil, which is our location that we love, and it's incredible and it's beautiful. We're so happy we found it.